What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to College Football Talk with Peter Burtonette. Massive news in the college football world today. Alabama head coach Nick Saban is officially retiring from the Crimson Tide football program. What a legacy he leaves behind. The greatest coach to ever do it in college football leaves behind an incredible legacy at Alabama. There are things that you can look at that show off the field, the impact that he had on young men during his time there. Just the development that he had both on the football field and off of it are things that can't be measured. Some of the things that can be measured, though, for Nick Saban: he was a 7-time national champion, once at LSU, but for the lone, I guess if you can call it a blemish or the lone misstep of his career where he just didn't fit going to the Miami Dolphins. But then after a couple years in Miami, he made the move to Tuscaloosa for the 2007 season. And that first one was tough. Alabama lost a game to Louisiana Monroe, but after that, Saban established an absolute dynasty that really is unmatched in college football history. From 2009 through 2020, the most recent Alabama championship, the Crimson Tide won 6 out of those, 12 seasons? An incredible run when you win one every 2 years. Several years where they went back, a couple of years where they went back to back, and the just amount of winning that Saban did is unmatched by many coaches. He ranks 5th all time in terms of career wins with 297. He is a 5-time SEC Coach of the Year, 2-time National Coach of the Year, and honestly probably deserving of that honor even more often, but I think the consistency maybe skewed that a little bit lower than it could have been. He was an 11-time SEC champion, and he was 7-3 in national championship games. An incredible record, an incredible resume for Nick Saban. Obviously, he also produced players for the next level as well. I think he had well over 100 NFL draft picks, and 44 went in the first round. Alabama established themselves consistently at the top of the AP poll, very rarely during his tenure falling outside of the top 10, and even not too often finding themselves outside the top 5. Last couple of years, he saw one of his proteges, Kirby Smart, kind of surpass him. Maybe not in terms of overall legacy, but in terms of winning on the football field. But Saban, the old ball coach, I know that's Spurrier's thing, but the mentor, we'll just put it that way, got the final, the last laugh against Kirby Smart in the SEC championship game this year. Alabama kind of was a prototypical Alabama team. They relied oftentimes on their defense this year, and that was often the staple of Nick Saban coach teams. They were able to run the ball well. You look at running backs like Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, and rode just an incredible defense. I mean, there are so many names that you could go over on the defensive side of the ball for the Crimson Tide, and maybe if I make a longer, more full-fledged video on it, I will go over some of the guys to come out of Alabama during Nick Saban's tenure. But what an incredible tenure it was. I just want to wish congratulations on Nick Saban for what an incredible career it was, and whatever he decides to do next, whether it's joining ESPN as an analyst. I think he has a little bit of a dry humor at times, but something that would fit well on an ESPN coverage or something like that. But if he decides to just walk off into retirement and spend time with his family, I think that is very, very well deserved. Again, the best coach to do it. The attention now turns to who his replacement will be. An early favorite that seems to kind of have been a little bit of a media darling at Oregon this year is Oregon's head coach Dan Lanning. Obviously has history with Kirby Smart at Georgia. I think there is a strong case to be made, though, for Dabo Swinney at Clemson. I think the Tigers head coach is maybe in a position where he kind of says goodbye to Clemson and takes the job at probably what still is the biggest job in college football at Alabama. It'll be interesting to see, too, though. This coaching carousel could get very interesting if Jim Harbaugh decides to go to the NFL. I think for Michigan, the defending national champions now, it's more likely that they stay internal, but it certainly will throw a wrench in the college football coaching carousel to see their 2 college football playoff teams, the champions and one of the semifinalists, looking for a new coach. But just absolutely massive news. I think my initial reaction was one of surprise, but not shock. It's funny enough, Kirk Herbstreit tweeted the exact same thing, but it was something that maybe had seen the last couple of years, but to see it actually be announced certainly is a surprise. And I mean, it kind of puts the college football world on hold, kind of, at least for today and probably for the next couple of days. That'll be what gets talked about alongside Michigan's national championship. But that's it for this video of College Football Talk. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like, consider subscribing to the channel, and turn on those post notifications so you're always up to date whenever I post. This is Peter Burnett signing out. Congratulations to Nick Saban. Peace.